Motherfuckers always talking shit. Everybody wanna be a king, but nobody wear a fucking crown, baby. Big Kev, Manny Bling, STP motherfuckers 09. They got me heating, motherfuckers left me bleeding in the middle of the street. Now they say they didn't see me breathing, looking for breath as they left me for dead. Several shots in the chest, and I'm still screaming, fuck yourself. On the ride, yet you still thought I died. Yet you drop it, I survived. Portuguese just don't die, snitch. Fuck that bitch as I ride through the night. Portuguese till I die. Manny Bling at my side, bitch. This ain't a game as I load up my pistol, aka trigger happy 40 Portuguese is missing, not admissible in court. VA need the weapon, yo, that shit's in the ocean.
Welcome everybody to the King of Kings Shotgun Sit Down Week 4 edition. Death Lords 0-3. The coach didn't win, but the coach didn't lose. More about that in a little while. Welcome everybody to the show. Let's go. Alright, welcome everybody to the King of Kings Shotgun Sit Down Week 4 edition. I'm your host Big Kev with DJ Mikey P. What an interesting week we had here. Huge matchups. The Death Lords 0-3? Really? The team who gave himself an 8+ heading into the season? Really? 0-3? The little coach ahead of him, now tied for first place, got huge news. The coach did not win, but he didn't lose either. An amazing game with the coach and the world champs. Tie game. We're going to get into all that. Still got undefeated teams. All that this week. What did you think about this week, man?
It's heartbreaking. For me personally, heartbreaking. But for everybody else, it was really some odd matchups that just I didn't see going that way. I really didn't see a tie coming out of you and your brother. That was just you and the coach.
Oh, I said that was going to be a close game.
Tie? That's crazy. And Nuno, the short circuit, bullshit. Wes Welker, 52 points. Wow.
It's tough when a lot of your teammates don't do nothing and then you pick up a win because of one guy gets ridiculous numbers that he's never going to do again. It always sucks like that, but like I said, you know, hey, it is what it is. Let's get into the week. Let's go. Matter of fact, let's go to the short circuit at Apocalypse Death Lords. Short circuit, still undefeated, 3-0, beaten the Apocalypse Death Lords at home, 185-121, demolished him. Short circuit, they're making a statement. Look like they're heading, they're heading the Young Nationals division. I mean, I thought it was going to be a lot closer. I said by 31, but what did you think?
For me, I looked at it and I'm saying to myself, Steve Smith, past 2 weeks, has put up double-digit, almost 30 points each week. Deion Branch, averaging 7 catches a game, 80 yards, 90 yards, getting double-digit points. Deion Branch, no catches. Steve Smith, 1 catch. And then Wes Welker for 16 catches, 218 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That is insane.
The short circuit, I mean, they took over in that game. You had a lot of problems in that game. The good news is, looks like Marcus Colston might be back this week, so that might be just enough time to save your season. Steven Jackson made an appearance last week, but you know, now I think he's fully healthy. So these guys may be back enough to help save your season. Because if not, you got a good chance of not making the playoffs this year. And we go over to the North Dominant Disciples at Brazilian All-Stars, with the Disciples taking it 168-138. The only and the next undefeated team, short circuit and the Dominant Disciples, the only undefeated teams left in the league. How is Steve doing it, and how does he keep doing it each week out?
Oh, big part of it's Brady. Brady is on fire this season. Even though he threw 4 interceptions, he's still going for the most shots, throwing touchdowns like crazy, and he's the top scorer on his team week in, week out.
Yeah, I look at the Brazilian All-Stars. The Brazilian All-Stars, I mean, if you look at it, they deserve, they should have won the game. You know, not taking anything away from the Disciples, you won. Bottom line, you know, Gary used to like to say it any way he can take it. Well, I'm sure the Disciples will take it any way they can get it either. But the Brazilian All-Stars, you really look at it. Frank Gore and Michael Turner, two star players equaling 4 points together. Completely embarrassing. So the All-Stars should have took that game with leftovers. Because you look at it, those two guys not perform. They let him down, and Philip Rivers let him down. So, you know, it was a hard-fought loss. But hey, the Disciples did it. He's 3-0. The only two teams. He's part of the only two teams left undefeated this season, going into week 4. Him in the short circuit, and you know, Brazilian All-Stars still in first place. You know, they pick up the loss, but they're still at 1-2. And 1-3. Now there's a 1, yeah, 1-2. And so he's still up there. And what do you think? Do you think this is a bad sign for the Brazilians, or do you think it's just a bad luck week?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. Frank Gore's hurt again. Frank Gore, an ankle injury, might not play, might play. They don't know yet. They don't know the extent. If he does play, how effective he's going to be. Like Steven Jackson, he played last week, but he wasn't effective. And Michael Turner he had a bad game. He had a game where just that entire Atlanta offense is off. But the part of Gary's team that shines week in, week out is Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson, 3 weeks straight, 3 2-touchdown games, back to back to back. And when your wide receiver can start doing that on a weekly basis, your team will always win.
Going on to the big bad bus over at the Little Coach, losing 153-169. Little Coach picking up his first win of the season. And bigger news, giving the bus his first defeat. He goes down to him. Another tough loss here because he had a lot of guys that didn't perform himself. But, you know, you got to give the Little Coach, hey, he did it. He got his first win. With that win, I mean, yeah, 1-2. He put himself in tied for first place. And I'll go more into that in a little while. But what did you think about the game?
I mean, Kenny's team is going to perform. You know, Bus's team, Adrian Peterson, how do you go into a game with the top, with the lead? You go into a game in the third quarter with a lead. And how do you not run the ball? How do you decide suddenly I'm going to put my best player and not use him? Adrian Peterson had monster numbers up until the half. And then after the half, he did nothing.
You got to say Sean should be feeling very, very lucky to pick up a win
Sean is
with all the guys he has hurt. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say it was a fluke, but he really didn't stand a chance going in this week. So, I mean, he should be very blessed to have pick up a win with his guys finally coming back starting this week.
But you know what? The smartest move I can honestly say Sean did was he picked up Matthew Stafford. His 45 points, that helped him.
Matthew Stafford, who rumor has it was in negotiation for a contract with the world champs, but I won't get into it on here. But speaking of that, the Little Coach picks up the win and now tied for first place 1-2 with Brazilian All-Stars. That's what I wanted to go into. 1-2 tied for first place. Now that's when when I talked about earlier about separating the Young Nationals division from the best of the best division. All good teams, but look at it. 1-2 is enough for first place in the best of the best division, but 1-2 would put you in last place in the Young National division. To have first place in the Young National division, you got to be 3-0. 1-2 gets you first in there. So I always said it. For some reason, it's like the AFC, NFC in real life. It's a very, very hard division. And not to blow smoke up anybody's ass, but it goes to show me I'm very fortunate how I won 4 championships in a row in that division, because it's very hard fought every year. But I expect the coach to get back in this. I expect the Death Lords to get back in this. I hope the little coach has a good season, but I said it. I see the Brazilian All-Stars winning the division, and the coach and the Death Lords being the 2 teams that enter the playoffs. But we'll see what happens. But going on to the game of the week, going in and going out. I said it was going to be a close game. I said I thought I was going to win it by 8, but turned out we have our first tie of the season. 4 Crowns World Champion at the coach, 130 to 130. No team could get that 1 point for the win, and no team could get that 1 point for the loss. I mean, what a matchup. It went right down. Are you ready for it? It went right down to Monday night, to the last play, to the last second of the game. This went right down to it.
But you know what? It shouldn't have happened that way. It shouldn't have. You want to know why that's a 130? Because the one thing we say every single week, we tell everybody, manage your team. Pay attention to who's hurt and put people in. When you have one of your starting running backs out of the game and you don't even put somebody in to replace him, you deserve to lose. He didn't deserve the time. He should have lost.
Beanie Wells, like I talked to the coach, also, Peyton Hillis being out that Sunday morning, Antonio Gates. So he had a big chance to beat me. He had a big chance to beat me because a lot of my top players were out. But Saturday night, like I told him, Saturday night, I saw with my own eyes, Beanie Wells was not going to play. They even said it Saturday night. It was a game time decision, but he wasn't going to play. I told the coach, he shouldn't even been in there to start off with. But looking at his team, I don't think it would have made a difference. Reggie Bush it could have made a difference. Reggie Bush had 2 points. But you look at it, you guys know that it's a free agent auction. We bet on the players. It kind of stinks. I still don't get it. ESPN's full of douchebags. I mean, why you should be able to on Sunday or Thursday, when there's a game, you should be able to pick up a player the same day and take them, regardless of the thing. I don't understand the whole waiting 1 day. It's stupid. That sucks. But that's a chance you had. You have no other guy playing at 4 o'clock. Beanie Wells is the only one. So your whole team's going to play and you're going based on a game time decision. So, you have to pay attention to that.
You deserve to lose.
But
you shouldn't get a tie. You should lose.
yeah, so
Very
lucky to have that tie.
Peyton Hillis was out. Antonio Gates was out. You change your team. You put people in. That's how it works.
And I did that 10 of 1. So you have to, you can't take a chance. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay attention. And not saying nothing to the coach. Obviously, he pays attention. He's not a rookie in this league. He knows what he's doing. But sometimes we roll the dice, and that's how it goes. But speaking of all that, any new injuries this week in the season?
Kenny Britt, from the little coach, and you dropped him this morning.
Just picked him up this week, too.
Done for the season with a torn ACL. And other than that, Beanie Wells is fighting injuries. Miles Austin, not going to play again for coach. Des Bryant should be back to full strength at least this week for us.
Full strength. I don't understand. Speaking of keeping an eye on your team, okay, how do you, all week on Saturday, going into Saturday, right, going into Sunday, they said Des Bryant, Miles Austin, all out, okay? They said it, all out, scheduled not to play. And then all of a sudden, Des Bryant plays in the game. I mean, sorry. This is the King of Kings Shotgun Sit Down. I was talking about another league. Anyways, he also has him on the other league that we played against each other this week too. But Des Bryant, you look at the bus. You said he wasn't playing, and then all of a sudden the guy plays. Now that could have been enough for the bus to pick up the win. You know what I'm saying? So it's one thing that you have to pay attention. Then one thing for the NFL not even to get their shit straightened out. You know what I'm saying? That screws a fantasy team. You know, that really ticked me off. I want to get that out there this week. But also Antonio Gates, big ass bum who says he could even play basketball. Like, how can you play basketball if you don't even got a foot? I mean, are you kidding me? Really? A foot? You haven't played, you haven't practiced, and you're out again with a foot from 4 years ago? I mean, these guys, I'm almost boycotting football and fantasy all.